No one at the luxury hotel noticed the man standing quietly near the entrance. His clothes were clean but simple. His old pickup truck was parked far away, and his young daughter held his hand with a bright smile. To everyone else, he looked like nothing more than an ordinary driver waiting for someone important. But in just a few minutes, the most powerful person in the nation would step out of a motorcade, walk straight toward him, and say 5 words that would leave an entire room frozen in silence. Before we begin, welcome to Spread Kindness. If stories about kindness, second chances, and unforgettable moments inspire you, please subscribe, like this video, and leave a comment telling us where you're watching from. Your support helps us share more stories that remind the world kindness still matters. Michael Carter had spent the last 8 years raising his daughter Emma alone. Life had changed overnight after his wife passed away from an illness. Since then, every morning started before sunrise. Michael worked as a private driver, taking business executives, visitors, and families wherever they needed to go. It wasn't glamorous work, but it paid the bills and gave Emma a safe home. Emma often told her father, "Dad, you make people feel safe. That's a superpower." Michael always smiled. "Being kind costs nothing," he would answer. One rainy afternoon, Michael received an unusual job. He was asked to drive a famous business leader named Richard Lawson to the Grand Meridian Hotel for an international leadership event. Richard was known for building a billion-dollar company, but he was also known for judging people by appearances. As Michael carefully opened the car door, Richard barely looked at him. "Just stay with the vehicle," Richard said without a thank you. "Drivers don't belong inside." Michael simply nodded. Emma was waiting nearby because school had ended early. She sat quietly in the truck reading her favorite library book while Michael waited for his next instruction. An hour later, heavy rain began pouring. Guests rushed toward the entrance, trying to avoid getting wet. Michael noticed an elderly woman struggling with several bags. Without hesitation, he ran through the rain, carried her luggage, and walked her safely inside. The woman thanked him with tears in her eyes. "I hope someone shows you the same kindness someday," she said. Michael smiled. "I already receive kindness every day from my daughter." Several hotel employees noticed the moment. So did Richard. Instead of appreciating what Michael had done, Richard shook his head. "Drivers should remember their place," he muttered to another executive. Emma overheard those words. She looked down, trying not to cry. Michael gently placed his hand on her shoulder. "Never let someone else's opinion decide your value." Just then, security officers suddenly became active. Black vehicles entered the driveway. Everyone stood straighter as the presidential motorcade approached. Guests whispered excitedly. The President of the Republic of Colombia had arrived to deliver the keynote speech. As the president stepped out, dozens of cameras flashed. Executives prepared to greet the nation's leader. But something unexpected happened. Instead of walking toward the red carpet, the president looked across the crowd. His face lit up. He ignored the waiting executives and walked directly toward Michael. Smiling warmly, he stretched out both hands. "Welcome back, Ghost One." The entire entrance became silent. Richard stared in disbelief. Hotel staff exchanged confused looks. Emma blinked, wondering what those words meant. The president embraced Michael like an old friend. "I've been hoping we'd meet again." Richard finally managed to ask, "Mr. President, you know our driver?" The president smiled. "You call him a driver. I call him one of the bravest people I've ever known." Years earlier, before becoming a driver, Michael had served in a highly classified rescue unit known by the radio call sign Ghost One. His team specialized in rescuing diplomats and civilians during dangerous overseas emergencies. During one mission, Michael had carried 3 injured teammates to safety after refusing to leave anyone behind. His courage had saved dozens of lives. The president continued speaking. When everyone else was thinking about their own safety, Michael thought only about protecting others. Heroes rarely wear expensive suits. Sometimes they wear ordinary jackets. The crowd stood speechless. Richard's confident expression disappeared. He remembered every dismissive word he had spoken. Emma looked at her father with wide eyes. "Dad, you never told me." Michael smiled softly. "Because helping people isn't something you brag about." The president knelt beside Emma. "You should be very proud of your father." She wrapped her arms around Michael. "I always have been." The president then turned toward the audience gathered outside the hotel. Today many people assumed they knew who Michael was simply because of his job. That's the danger of judging appearances. Character cannot be measured by a title, a paycheck, or the clothes someone wears. His words echoed through the silent entrance. Richard slowly walked toward Michael. For the first time that day, his voice was humble. "I'm sorry." Michael looked into his eyes. "You don't owe me anything except the promise that you'll treat every person with respect from now on." Richard nodded. "I will." Months later, Richard introduced a new company program focused on treating every employee equally. Drivers, cleaners, assistants, receptionists, and executives all attended the same appreciation events. He often shared the lesson he learned that rainy afternoon without mentioning his own embarrassment. Michael continued driving because he enjoyed meeting new people. Every passenger received the same warm greeting and quiet kindness. Emma grew up remembering one important truth. Real greatness is never announced by fancy titles. It is revealed through kindness, humility, and the way someone treats people who can offer nothing in return. The president never forgot Michael, and Michael never let fame change him. Because true heroes don't need applause. They simply keep choosing kindness every single day. If this story touched your heart, remember this simple lesson. Every person you meet is carrying a story you cannot see. The stranger beside you may have overcome impossible challenges. The quiet worker you overlook may have changed someone's life. So choose kindness first, because respect costs nothing but can mean everything. Thank you for watching Spread Kindness. Until next time, keep believing that one small act of kindness can change a life, and perhaps even the world.